There's a new Middle-earth film out, and with it has come a new edition of the Middle-earth strategy battle game, or MESBG as it's more commonly known, or Lord of the Rings Warhammer if you really want to trigger some people. It's been generally well received, but there was one comment that came up repeatedly. Some people found it frustrating to try and make the new plastic kits.
The dynamism of the poses is absolutely fantastic, but I can't help feel they might be a bit too complicated for a starter set.
Now my view generally is I'll accept greater complexity if it achieves greater detail, but I do accept I should put that to the test. If I'm back doing MESBG, particularly the Men of Rohan and the Men of the Hill Tribes, I needed a suitably inspiring landscape. Open plains meets rugged hills, and that of course meant I was going back to the Scottish Highlands. But this time, I won't be going alone. I wanted to find somewhere the Hill Tribesman would hide from the Horse Lords. By its nature that meant somewhere hidden, and that meant making a stop in Glasgow for a guide with some invaluable local knowledge. I did my best to find one.
We're going to fucking point. The fucking point. We're going to the fucking point, boys.
The fucking point is a viewing area on Loch Lomond, and as beautiful as it is, it clearly isn't the rugged domain of the Hill Tribesmen. We had to go a lot further north yet. At least I had my guide to get me there.
We're in the Highlands, no, boyo.
He wasn't wrong, although he expressed it like a bloody idiot. And during a quick lunch pit stop, I was introduced to a Highlands delicacy.
Macaroni pie.
Let's go.
Soon enough, we were on the road again and driving down the long, windy path towards Glen Etive. This area was made famous by providing the haunting backdrop to the third act of Skyfall. This is Stob Jeddig, seen here. And this is the River Etive, which you can see here. And at the end of the day, is there any real difference between James Bond and Airman and Aston Martin and two sweaty wargamers and a flatulent dog in a van? I think not. We finally arrived at Loch Etive, and I was pleased to have brought John for some local insight.
Look at all those trees, man.
Loch Etive was the perfect backdrop. Isolated, inhospitable, yet rugged and beautiful. This is the domain of the Hill Tribes. But while we struggle to set up John's tent, perhaps it's time to discuss why it is I want to make Wildmen and add them to my force at all. To spin that yarn, I need to take you back to a cricket club in Yorkshire, September 2024. This is the 800-point MESBG tournament of Dice and Men. I'd brought Saruman, Lurtz and Vrasku, yes, this is the old edition, plus a whole bunch of Uruks, crossbows, pikes, and berserkers. Before you click off, because this is the old edition, I promise there's a point and learning I think I can take forward to this new edition. It'll explain my enthusiasm for the Wildmen. Game 1 was Ben Haslam. He's one of the loveliest guys you could hope to have your ass handed to you by. The game was my favourite, Fog of War, in which you choose a piece of terrain and enemy territory to capture, you choose an enemy hero to kill, and a friendly hero to protect. His list was similar to mine, but no Saruman. He had a ballista and 2 dreaded bomb teams.
Well, good luck, have fun.
Yes, you too.
Priority so what? Oh, well, yeah, we'll see. Those bloody bombs.
Get my dice out. 6, 4.
My protectee was a bit of a sweaty choice, Grima Wormtongue, because if you deploy him with the enemy's army, he can't be killed, so he was invulnerable. However, Ben noticed something wrong right from the off.
Where's Grima?
Yeah, I'd just sort of forgotten to deploy him.
Oh, he's not down! Sorry.
I win.
Ben had more ranged stuff than me, including the mighty ballista, and normally that's what I do, so I felt really quite emasculated. It meant that I had to rush up the board as quickly as possible and get to him, because I would not win a shooting war. So I marched my Uruks up the field as quickly as their little legs would take them. Unfortunately, Ben also had 2 bombs. I didn't really know how to deal with them.
I've got 4 Uruks that are just going to go at the shields, boys.
Yep.
At the end. Just the one.
So Ben's Uruks bagged the first kill. It would not be the last. That's because Ben just sat there, throwing round after round of bolts from his deadly crossbows, and I had to advance as quickly as possible to reach his line.
Shooting.
obviously I've got none.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're going to go at that cluster.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
Can't be asked doing it in the ways.
Way straight forward.
Oh, 3, so let's just take the front 3. And then the ballista will go for Saruman.
Yeah, why not?
No one.
Priority? Oh, a 6.
Oh, that's yours then. 1. I'm going to call a march with Lurtz.
I had taken a pummeling, but our lines were in striking distance of one another. The problem is, Ben's Lurtz's march captured both his bomb teams. There was basically nothing I could do. I either sat back and got shot, or moved forwards and got bombed. I decided to just brace and pray something went wrong. At least I took it with my signature good grace and humour.
Oh, you bastard. I see.
Yeah. And then this one's going to come up with his friend and deposit the bomb here. Hey.
That's so mean. Just because I'm incompetent, you go and take advantage of me.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. You, yeah, let's, yeah, cool.
Before the bomb, though, there was another round of shooting, and that was painful enough. Another 6 Uruk-hai killed. To give you some context, that means Ben had gunned down a third of my army before it even got there.
Bombs.
Bombs,
I've got to roll a 1, basically.
I might say, please.
Or double 1.
Please,
So,
come on.
this one's going to go first.
Oh, it's not a 1, but it's also not quite a 6.
How many wounds does it do? 4 wounds.
That wiped out an entire half of the main body of my force. And that was only one of 2 bombs.
Unpleasant, I would say.
It could get worse.
It did get worse, as Ben rolled to detonate his second bomb.
Are you bastard? I said no more 6s. Explicitly said no more 6s.
So it's 2D wounds.
6, yeah.
Yeah. That's what the march was for.
Yeah, no, don't worry, I've got it now, yeah.
That was it. The entire main body of my force wiped out in a single turn. There was nothing I could do to grind down his. My surviving Uruk-hai put up an admirable last stand, but they were heavily outnumbered and just didn't have a hope. What I needed here was some chaff to block off my expensive Uruk-hai. And that brings us back to Scotland and our Wildmen.
It is pretty good.
Yeah. I can't even be all bothered sitting on my tent. I just want to sit and
You can sleep. You can sleep under the stars.
drop it. I can't kick it if you don't drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
You're never going to be able to negotiate with her.
Drop the ball. What are you just doing?
She doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
Our first task was to get a fire going.
Three matches left. That was 2 matches left.
It was going to dip below freezing that night. This was our last chance.
1 match left.
Close one. Still, as calming as our fire was, we can't survive the night on it alone. John had hit up the van for our sustenance and come back mostly with whiskey.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It didn't crack, that's okay. We've got the gifts. We come bearing gifts.
There you go. We dram, so Bowmore.
What?
Bowmore.
What's that mean? Oh, I see.
Bowmore 12, the name of the whiskey.
So what?
This is the signature whiskey of Bowmore Distillery, which is from obviously Bowmore, the capital of Islay. Aged 12 years.
Is that good?
Yes, I believe this one was a peated whiskey. Let me just check for you. Yes, a wee peated one.
Okay.
So
What's that mean?
It's smoked with peat, so you get a smoky flavour to it. Delicious, long-lasting and mellow finish. Right, 2 secs. I'm going to go see if I can get some more firewood.
I'm not a big whiskey drinker and wasn't a massive fan. I knew John would be offended if it went to waste, so I decided to just add a mixer.
How is that a greater offence than what you just
Drive
did?
me home, you I'm out of here.
Things got a little awkward after this.
No, don't do that. Don't. What do you want to do? I don't know.
But after a few more drinks, not whiskey for me, we all started to loosen up again. One of us certainly loosened up more than the other one.
Oh, well done.
Yes. There's a whiskey.
No, good. No, good.
Who's a bijal?
No, neither do you.
Bijal, do I leave my shoes inside or outside?
Outside. Choose outside.
What's for range?
Choose inside then.
See, you're such a noob.
While John belches his way into an early night's sleep, this is a valuable opportunity to revisit of Dyson Men 2024 ahead of the Wildman build tomorrow.
Jesus.
This second game was Lords of Battle. I was playing the ringer, Will Champion, with his grey company.
Let's party, baby.
Good luck. Have fun.
As always.
Indeed.
A 1.
Well, it's looking promising. A 4. Any heroics?
I just don't think there's any benefit in me calling one.
No.
Because I'm going to charge you or you're going to charge me.
Exactly,
So let's just get down to it.
All right, cool.
He wasn't wrong. I just piled in, and by the end of the turn, we had a big clumpy combat right in the middle of the board.
Any heroics are you in combat? Let's start with your trapped Legolas.
Yeah.
Do you want to see if you get a 6?
Got a 5 and I've got a banner. Got a 6.
Okay.
I'll punch the Urukai. Yes.
Punched him to death. That's 1 point for you.
I then swiftly killed one of Will's rangers, and he killed a few Uruks in return, before we got to a trapped ranger v Lurtz.
Ranger.
We offer you a 6.
Okay.
It's a noble last stand.
This Lurtz 5s.
What a dork.
And then we've got 1, because he's going to have to be on that guy, so 1 sword. Oh! So we're going to have to might that. So Lurtz is down to 2 might.
You sure? What's the worst I could do to you?
I want him dead though.
Well, you do want me dead. You spend that might point, I'm okay with it.
You can tell me after why this is a mistake.
Okay.
The purples are the sword guy. I think he's big dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds.
Guess what? You gain a might point back.
Oh!
I was joshing you.
I just can't trust anything you say.
Little rascal.
In the next turn, I channeled, and Gimli called a move, and advanced towards Saruman. I wasn't worried though, there was still another model between the two of them.
Gimli will throw an axe. Hits.
Yep.
Kills.
Oh, very good.
Nice channel you got there. It'd be a shame if I stopped it.
Okay, my confidence might have been unearned. What's worse, now if I wanted to save Saruman, I needed to get Lurtz over to Gimli.
I'm going to call combat with Vrasku, strike with Lurtz.
Yep, strike with the Elven twins. He's down to 1 now.
The heart palpitating.
I got to fight 10.
I need a 5. Come on, purple battle camel dice, don't let me down.
2 might invested, and Lurtz only goes to fight 9.
3 dice, baby. 5, so I can get there.
That's a real bugger.
With that plan scuppered, we just went to the rest of the combats. I killed a ranger, but lost a few more Uruks.
Last but not least, my wee laddie Gimli.
Oh, alright.
Your ass is mine on a 4. I'm banner. I'm on a 4.
Okay, 3 pikes, and Saruman on purple. I'm on a 6.
I will spend 2 points of might to win, and I'm going for Saruman.
Of course.
I will spend my last might point for 3 wounds.
3?
It's crazy, guys. Saruman, famous for having his extremely long spell ranges, is stood right behind the lines.
2 saved, no fate, 2 wounds.
I will take that. Well done, Gimli.
Saruman had a lucky escape. In the next turn, I closed in, and I decided to take my wrath out on Legolas, if I could. Both Lurtz and Aragon called a combat. I needed mine to go off first to try and save Saruman from Aragorn.
So we roll off to see whose combat goes first. That'll be Aragorn's.
For the cost of one beer,
Yeah, I'm down.
to re-roll that die.
I'm so down. Yes!
Go on then, strike off.
Are you sure?
Mate, we're on the bottom table, who cares?
I owe you 2 beers now.
Do. I go up to 7, it's not a high bar.
10.
Okay, this is bad news bears.
Thanks to alcohol, Lurtz now stood a chance.
I get a 6. That's,
You got a 6.
It's the most noble defence I can offer.
So Lurtz
Wins.
6. So double strikes, 4s on white, and 5s on green. 1, 2, 3.
That's enough.
4, 5, 6. Lurtz is going to come through, grab Gimli, and Brasku's going to join Aragorn's combat. So now it's Aragorn's heroic.
Yeah. 4 high.
Not ideal. Brasku, 6.
I'll spend 2 might to win. Everything on Vrasku.
Yep. Nothing. No way.
I was going to do is try and get some...
Beer to re-roll one.
Get a might back. It's not enough.
Beer to re-roll all of them.
No, go on.
Let's do Leggy's thing. Do you want to set us a bar? 3. Oh, Jesus. Help. So that's that number. 5 high. You could might it.
2 might. Leggy's down to 1. Punch 2 berserkers. I kill 1.
It was disappointing not to get Leggy out the game, but draining him and Gimli and Aragorn of Might all in the same turn really did seal the deal for Will. The main lesson here, of course, is simply that bribery is a superb way of achieving success beyond your competence, but there is a more relevant lesson, which is that having a horde, some cheap chaff, like the Wildmen, makes the army more forgiving to play. I screwed up with Saruman, and I only got through by sheer luck. Having some expendables around would have gone a long way, which takes us back to the Highlands. But before that, having lost some drinks to Will, I was determined to earn them back at the quiz in the evening. So Harry and I bet on a couple of questions, just a bit of good-natured spice between friends.
Yes! You, Harry! Sorry, I'm so sorry. 2 drinks.
Morning. Fucking. 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. I can't find my phone, which is the worrying thing. I'm hoping I left it in Alex's. Oh Jesus, did I finish that? Oh my god, I finished the other bottle as well.
Once he joined me in the van, John introduced me to some more Scottish produce, this time the square sausage, which was excellent. It was then finally time to find somewhere appropriate to complete our building challenge. Well, soon anyway, just once John had finished losing a fight with my dog and cured his hangover. Finding the right spot wasn't easy. We were spoiled for choice in this beautiful part of the world.
$24 Dunlandings to make.
Yeah.
Now, I know that neither of us have bought any means by which we can get them back to the van.
Sorry. I can beep that.
Yeah. Did you bring the instructions?
No.
No, neither did I.
You should have seen them in there.
They're not mine.
Oh, then I brought mine.
Don't suggest that I was competent when actually you were competent.
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, that's not the instructions. That's the rules. Look, that's the rules.
Ah.
So I forgot the instructions.
Instructions are in the van then. Come take a seat, John. So we've each got 24
Yep.
of these Dunlands to make. You think they're a complete nightmare.
Yep.
I think they're probably not.
Okay.
Or I think they might be, but I think they'll be worth it. That's because I've never said they weren't a nightmare.
Okay.
What I said is they're worth it for the detail. But we're going to see how much of a nightmare they are by having a little race and seeing who can build all 24 first. And mine, yours are in there.
It's the same f***ing sprue, you daft. Or we could try to do it without the instructions.
I'm going to just go get the instructions, I reckon.
After trekking to the van to fetch the instructions and a few other bits, the race began.
First person with 24 Dunlandings wins. Hill Tribesman won. So what can you have? Either a two-handed axe or a stabby thing. The stabby things, does that count as a spear?
Yeah, sprue.
Rate your building experience so far. Why? It's been like 6 seconds. Why? What's wrong?
Just can't.
Can't. We've got to get to at least one challenge where you can be.
John might not have been feeling it, but he was persevering, and given he was a professional commissioned painter, did feel under a lot of pressure. I've never seen such purposeful clipping.
Right, that's 2.
Okay, I've nearly done 1.
Well done.
This is literally me going at full pace, by the way.
What?
I dropped a piece.
Absolute.
I can see it, I can see it.
I was struggling just to keep the pieces in my hands, and John's smugness became almost unbearable.
Tempted to go get that bottle of whiskey, seeing as I'm doing so well.
It grated on me that this had been my idea to prove that these models were worth building.
This is a nightmare.
You eating those words?
Have you done any yet?
Yes, I've on my 4th miniature, Alex.
You're not on your 4th miniature.
Yeah.
Oh, you jerk. I've nearly done 1.
My mood brightened somewhat when John dropped one of his pieces too, and then when he got frustrated, getting lost in the sprue.
Why can't I see 34?
Still, there was no denying he was roaring ahead. I just could not keep pace. I was targeting all the two-handed weapon guys first, and before long he had a whole mound of them. I kept at it till the bitter end, but before I knew it,
Well done, I guess. I'll finish this one.
I might have lost and created quite a pathetic little pile of miniatures, compared with John's pile. But hey, I'd made some progress, and I know that I'm slow, and so that's fine. I'd also done it in the most fantastic location I could have hoped for. Although, even that consolation was short-lived.
Oh, Alex, do you want me to put the sprues in my bag?
No, you head back, I'll get them.
Alright, okay. Is that a sore one?
That's my miniatures.
Oh, this makes me... I hope they're all broken. This makes me so happy.
They were all broken. Every last one of them. What a waste of time. So I set off with not the highest spirits. And as we head off back to Glasgow, we're going to dash back in time one more time to Of Dice and Men 2024 for the final learning game. For this last foray into the ghost of tournaments past, I'd be playing another lovely man, Tim Garlick. He had Razgush, the Mouth of Sauron, Kurdush, the Firecaller, and Shelob. The game was capture and control. Not much happened until the lines had properly clashed. In this game, we're trying to capture the objectives seen here, including one rather unfortunately placed one on the top of that hill. It rewards aggressive play. It incentivizes players to make a breakthrough to the enemy deployment zone. Tim had a cheeky scheme involving the Flamecaller to try and make that opportunity.
I will try flame burst on this fella here.
Okay.
So it goes up on a 3.
Okay.
Then 6.
D6 for the shield.
Pause.
Might it? Yeah?
Yeah, let's might it.
Mighting it.
The reason Tim spent a might simply to kill a single Urukai was to create a space big enough to plant his bats right behind Lurtz. The bats will halve Lurtz's fight value.
So he's going on
Cheeky bastard. Ah, you cheeky bastard. That was a good move.
Worth a might, right?
That was worth a might.
And then Kardush is going to move.
retreat.
He then realised that he couldn't have done that because Lurtz had lost his control zone, but the models behind him hadn't, so the bats couldn't land there. It was very sad to watch. But I did let him have his might back. Then the fighting started in earnest, and Tim lost a whole bunch of orcs right out of the gate. Even when he did get lucky enough to win a fight against one of my berserkers, the luck wouldn't stick.
Fury save. Yes.
I don't believe it.
In fact, the only model on Tim's entire side to get a kill was his bats.
The bats are always the worst.
In the next turn, with the spaces I'd made, I piled forward. I was driving the orcs back toward their objective, and my birds now held the central objective. Tim was still trying to make the flame burst spell work to his advantage.
This is going to come to here.
Yep.
He's going to do a flame burst on Saruman.
Okay. Bring it. Let's have a flame burst off.
And it affects both rider and mount.
Oh, you bastard.
It's a strength 6 against each, basically.
I don't massively care if he loses his horse.
Kardasha got a 6 to cast, and I agonised over whether or not I should bother trying to discast it.
I'm going to keep my will. I'm playing the long game.
So this flame war went hot, and I mean a literal flame war, not a Twitter/X Saruman diss track kind of flame war. The rest of Tim's movement was designed to plug the gaps in the line and put some pressure on my near flank. Most intriguingly, Tim's bats charged my birds, who had flapped up onto the hill to hold the centremost objective.
Yes, it's a flyer off. It's the most underwhelming combat this game is capable of producing. Just flapping at each other. On a 3.
On a 6.
Oh, your bats have taken
Bats
it.
beating birds, right. I don't know what I need. 4's probably not going to be enough.
I don't think so.
It was enough. The bats had drawn first blood.
Bats take round 1.
Yes.
At the end of the row, a berserker cleaved through a warg rider, leaving the warg behind to try and avenge his fallen master. We then cleaved another orc down the line, but the magnets under the miniatures made separating them difficult.
It's magnet battle. I'm making love.
Taking it with you. I don't know how you do it, but...
It wasn't just the orcs who suffered, they took a pair of Uruk-hai with them. All in all though, it was most certainly the orcs that came off worst.
Oh, this is not going well.
Not ideal, not ideal. And then... Shelob versus just a lone berserker.
Yeah.
I'm on a 3.
5.
Oh. Are you going to rend him?
No, I'm going to hurl him.
Oh!
I must admit, I'd forgotten Shelob can hurl things.
Goes back 5 inches.
So he's going to get that one, and that one. Oh, he's going to get Grima!
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't think about that at all.
Fortunately, Grima survived, but that was a scary moment and a bit of a wake-up call. I needed to be more careful with Saruman's best boy. Now, of course, Hurl no longer works like this, and so Grima would be immune in the future. But the new Hurl brings up new risks. Tim could have got Saruman off his horse, or knocked Lurtz prone to stop him getting a heroic combat off. In the next turn, the lines pressed in once again, ready for more carnage, both sides just praying for a breakthrough. And most importantly of all, the birds recharged the bats. There were more casualties on both sides, but once again, Tim's orcs took a real pummeling. Even poor Shelob lost her combat and was forced to back away. I then came up against the Firecaller to finally put an end to the flame bursting.
6.
Oh, you can't take it, yeah. I'm going to put all of that on caster.
Yeah.
Shielding again. I will... Oh! With this one, yeah. Oh no. 3 6s and a 5. I'm so sorry.
I'm at 3 off breaking.
Bloody hell.
With that, it was just time to see if my birds could finally beat Tim's bats.
And then the big one. See if I can reclaim the prize. Oh no! I can't win.
6.
Oh, bloody hell. I get pushed even further off. And that's another wound. So you took one last time, took one this time, he's down to 2 wounds. The bats are doing the business.
Bats are better than birds.
It's apparently so.
Proven.
Feeling that the jaws of death were closing in and realising that his bats were now his only hope, Tim threw caution to the wind and threw Shelob into the Uruk-hai line. Saruman channeled and tried to immobilise it, hoping to deal with it in a single go.
a 6.
So I'm going to chuck 3 dice at it.
Okay. It's a big one. Come on, Tim, don't mess it up.
6.
Oh, well, you got one. You got one.
Got one back.
Well, that didn't work, but Tim had used a heroic move which had caught his bats, which means they were now stuck there, which allowed me to move my birds away to the rearmost objective. As the famous saying goes, if you can't beat them, run. However, in the next turn, Tim marched a captain over to the objective to just sit on it, so the birds bravely turned back to re-engage the bats. The rest of the game simply saw Tim's line slowly collapse, until eventually the Uruk-hai had claimed all the objectives. The birds never did defeat the bats, but eventually they just ran away. This had been a game in which the Uruk-hai killing power had been on display, but in which I would have been helped massively by having a few wildmen with flaming brands. You see, they make them dominant 2, which in the new rules means they count as 2 models when holding objectives. That can be massive in games like this one, where you're trying to hold several objectives, and a single one can happily turn the tide of the game. Wildmen can also be fearless if they're near the Oathmaker, and in this new edition there's a whole bunch of monsters like Shelob running around causing problems. Some fearless chaff can go an enormously long way to keeping them where you want them to be. So, they're going to be helpful. And back in Glenative on our way out back toward the main road, I reflected on that and the fact that they are absolutely stunning. And so despite the fact they're a bit of a nightmare to build, I stand by them being well worth it. They look absolutely fantastic. It's probably true that they're not very beginner friendly, and maybe one day MESBG will be supported to the extent that they can have push-fit beginner models, like 40k and Sigmar. Until that day, I'll take what scraps I can get. However, then I realised, on the way back, that in the new list building rules you can't take wildmen in any army with Uruk-hai warriors. So I haven't even bothered to repair them, and this entire video is a massive waste of my time and yours. Now normally of course I assign my miniatures in games to patrons. MVPs get prizes. This time though, I decided to assign the miniatures that I'd built instead. This is always done as a sort of raffle, with higher tier patrons having a higher chance of being awarded each miniature. On screen are today's assignments. Sam P, your guy with spear, actually broke the skin when I fell on him. He's obviously got a bright career ahead of him. You're going to win a Battle Camper mug as a prize. Thank you very much indeed to everyone for watching, and of course especially to the patrons whose names are on screen now. The next video is another trash build, this time for Warhammer the Old World, and then we'll be into a spree of Rohan-based MESBG videos. If you have too much time on your hands, check out the other videos. If you have too much money on your hands, link to the Patreon is in the description, and if you have too much self-respect on your hands, link to the Facebook is in the description. When did you say go left?
I'm pretty sure in the last
Where?
I may have had 3 pints at the last village, but I am 100% sure when we were leaving it.
Well, you were pretty sure a second ago.
Well, I'm
and now you're 100%
sure.
sure.
I'm 90% sure. No,
well, that's down
95%. No, 100. I'm 100.
You're not even sure how sure you are, let alone which direction we were supposed to go. When were we supposed to go left?
Like pull in.
We'll pull in. I'm not the best.
You are a
well, I might be a but in this specific situation, I'm not the end. I'm definitely not the only
Definitely said.
If I said bar, then you meet and exceed the bar.
I said left.
I just don't agree at all. I think that if you said anything at all,
I'm 100% sure.
It's just not true. Okay, right. So here we're looking here.
Yes.
But that's a right turn.
No, that's a left turn.
Oh, you've got to turn it that way. You're right. Okay, fine. It is a left turn.
It's
if you
a left
turn it
turn
in that
if you turn the
yeah.
camera
Okay,
like
fine.
that.
Jesus. All right. Come on then.